Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a very simple card layout, and I'm going to be using Stampin Up Stampin Blends alcohol markers. I'm doing two different versions. One has a floral spray and one is a more masculine card. Finding layouts that are appropriate for sending to guys can be challenging, but when you have a simple layout, you can adapt it to suit your needs. Let me move this and we'll get started. The stamps I'm using today is the Stampin' Up Bloom with Hope 1 and 2, Moon Lake by Stampin' Up, and Something to Celebrate by Stampin' Up. I will also need some orange polka dot ribbon, some dark blue ribbon, and rhinestones. Before I get started, I must apologize. I'm still trying to adjust to my new Invisalign, so I have a bit of a lisp and I talk very slowly, and you may hear me struggling to swallow because my mouth is extremely juicy from this. If anyone has Invisaligns or braces, you can probably attest to what I'm going through right now. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm talking, you can make out what I'm saying. But if you have a problem, I'm really sorry. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is bring in a piece of paper, and I'm going to make a shadowed area here with the bundled sage. And just lightly go over it. Oops, what is that? Lightly go over it in the corner, the lower corner. Not heavy, just a little light. Just want to add a little bit of color here for interest. And I'm just using a Ranger blending tool for that. All right. This design is going to go together so quickly. And oh, you know what? I might need that paper back. Where did I do with it? I'll just get another one, just in case. So I'm going to stamp the flower right in this lower corner, and I have my stamp pad so I can be sure that I get a good impression. All right, clean that off real quick. Now this dries relatively quickly, but I'm gonna give it a quick shake. Now I'm going to bring in my markers, and this is very simple. I'm going to focus on the outer part of the flowers with the lighter color. Let me separate it. And the inner part of the flower will have the darker color. So I want this to be not too much orange, so I'm going to make the larger flower yellow. These markers have two sides. One is a brush end, and you can tell which is which by the thickness of the line on here. This is a thick line, this is a thin line. But I'm going to use the thinner side for this. And you just go along the edge here. The reason I'm using the thinner side is I do not want to inadvertently press too hard and damage the tip. Because these pens are not refillable. So once you mess it up, you'll have to buy another one. And it's my understanding that they are not going to be selling these anymore, so you have to be careful. And I also want to do this one. Now that I have the light, I'm going to go and bring in the center with the dark. Okay. And the dark on the outer edge here. And now I'm going to bring this back and blend the two areas together. This is super simple. You just use little circular motions to make sure you don't get any streaky marks. Okay, the same thing for the orange. Oops, wrong side. I'm sorry, it's not orange, it is light pumpkin pie. There's probably no reason to even slow this down, so I'm going to just breeze on through here. Same thing again, the dark in the center. Oh, I also want to dark the center of the yellow flower with the orange and the center of the orange flower with the yellow. And these have a very tight click on it, so you have to give it a good push to make sure that it engages so that you do not dry your markers out, because this is alcohol. Okay. And there is the leaves and the stems. Very simple. Set that aside. Now, believe it or not, the rest is just simply putting everything together. So I'm going to just let the music play and assemble the card. And that is card number 1 finished. I tried to show you when you're doing alcohol markers, it can seep through the paper. So you want to be mindful when you are doing it that you're working on a panel so that something will be behind it so that you can't see the bleed through. For example, if I were to do this right on the card front, and then when you open it, you would be able to see the bleed through, and you don't want that to happen in most cases. Very simple, just put a piece of paper behind it or make sure that you're doing it on the front panel. Card number 2 is the same steps that I've already showed you, so I'm going to just go right through it. And the distress ink I'm using for this one is going to be the Tumbled glass.
There's storm clouds ahead, sir.
And that is card 2 finished. You will use the same steps with this one that you did with the first one. The only difference is that since there were more colors of alcohol markers, it was a little bit more time consuming than the first one, but both are very simple. Oh, I just realized that I didn't color in the leaves on the tree. Good catch. But this is very quick. Just go everywhere you see leaves and don't go where you don't see leaves. I don't even need to bother with 2 different shades because it's going to just blend in, and you just want to give the illusion. And this makes it look like you spent a long time working on this card and you really didn't. Okay, now that's both of the cards together. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button so that you can see all of my videos as I make them. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music, and I hope that you're enjoying it as well. This layout is extremely easy to do. You could just change the sentiments, the images, the paper, and make whatever occasions that you need it. You can quickly whip these out and have a bunch of them on standby for anything that you need it. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.